What's up, people? Welcome back to the Tuesday Wednesday Club. That's what we'll call this, right? Tuesday Wednesday Club from the Purple Room, which during the daytime it's a little less purple, but you get the idea. Hey, today I thought we would talk about history, and in particular I think we should talk about my history, because we all want to know about that. I know I do. And mostly this is coming from a comment that I received from a gentleman named Jeff Swanson asking me about Buddy Blaze guitars. And I would love to give you the story between myself and Buddy and how that came to be. But it all starts with this guitar, which is a 1957 Fender Stratocaster reissue. I'm not really sure what year this guitar actually is. I think it's early 90s, late 80s. It was purchased by a good friend of mine named Gene Montgomery for me as a gift, which is, guitars are good gifts. Always have been good gifts for me. And I used this guitar a bunch in the studio world in the 90s. And so when I started concentrating more on live stuff, and primarily with Sugarland, this became my #1 guitar for live use. The first time we ever played one of the late night talk shows, this was the guitar that I used. It was the Jay Leno show. It was the second single from Sugarland called Just Might Make Me Believe. And I'll tell you a quick story about that. Jen and I were doing an acoustic show at Eddie's Attic. It was a holiday show, as I recall. In fact, I think you could still find this recording possibly on her website now. But we were doing a show there together, and I received a phone call from Gail Gelman, who was Jennifer's manager, Sugarland's manager, and she informed me that we'd been invited to play on the Leno show. Now, that was a big deal for me and probably any musician at that time. You know, when I was growing up, Carson and Letterman and all those kind of shows, it was a pinnacle if you got to do your thing on one of those gigs. So it was pretty exciting news, and Gail was letting me know directly so that I could sort of use my best judgment and let Jen know as to not interrupt the flow of the day or, you know, throw too much excitement or whatever into the mix. So I think my immediate reaction was to hang up and tell her right away. I don't know for sure if I did that, but I don't think I waited till the end of the night to do so, because I think it's mentioned in that recording. In fact, it was exciting stuff. So I'm glad to say that before it was all over with, and before quarantine world, we were able to get on all those shows. I don't think there's a one that we didn't play. So that's a nice little thing to say. So I'll play a little bit of Just Might Make Me Believe, the parts that I played on the old Strat. I can remember being pretty nervous about playing all the little leady stuff on that gig, but I got through it okay. You can still find it out there on YouTube world if you go digging enough. It's grainy and it probably doesn't sound too great, but it was good times. So that led to us doing some gigs shortly thereafter in Hawaii, and that's where I met Buddy Blaze. I'm going to grab some of those guitars. I don't have them in here, so I'll grab some of those and show them to you, and we can talk about that connection too. All right, see you in a sec. All right, there we go. Flash forward a couple of years, and that lands you squarely right here with Mr. Buddy Blaze. The first guitar that Buddy built for me was a Junior, like a Gibson Junior. Mine had 2 pickups in it, and that lasted me a good long while. And then we went out on a tour called The Incredible Machine, and that had a very distinct look to it, which was a steampunk motif. And that's kind of what you see here on top of this guitar. So it went along with the tour, but I also just love the way it looks. A brilliant guy named Steven Jensen did the artwork for this. He can be found out there on the web. Buddy Blaze built it for us. And we have DiMarzio pickups here. Steve Blucher put that together for me. Hip shot hardware, tremolo and keys, tuning keys, and there you go. And this thing was a dream come true. This is actually the relict version, and this one went through, has been through the war. It sat on a stage in the cold for a couple of months with an episode that we went through. And it still sounds pretty good. Frets, so you get that. It's just fun, right? There it is, the generator. Yeah. All right, guys, that's it. If you have more questions, let me know. If you want to know about some other guitars, or I don't know, I'll do my best to please here on Tuesday, Wednesday Club in the Purple Room live. And stay happy as best you can. Leave room for growth in your world, and I hope everybody's okay. I know it's not easy out there right now, but we're all doing our best, and that's going to be good enough for now. All right, guys, have a great week.